And it's been a perfect day to get out, but you've probably had to start breaking out the allergy medications the past few weeks as tree pollen starts to take over.
My eyes won't stop watering over here. CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing joins us tonight with the latest pollen numbers. Rach.
Oh yeah, Angela and Liz, if your face is puffy, your eyes are itchy like Angela was just mentioning, and your head just straight up hurts, it is more than likely the pollen. So the latest pollen report from the North Carolina Division of Air Quality has grasses at a moderate level, trees at a high level. There were no pollen grains measured for weeds because that normally spikes later in the fall. Now the main trees right now are pine, of course, but also juniper, cedar, cypress, and oak with 114 pollen grains per cubic meter measured. Now I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but pollen in this instance is technically measured as a type of volume, which is why it's measured as pollen grains per cubic meter. Alrighty, so the trees have been trending up since the beginning of the month, bouncing around between high and moderate levels really for the past few weeks. Yesterday, tree pollen was even higher than today, with 766 grains per cubic meter measured. That's the highest since last April. And by the way, last April was just a straight up bad time for people with tree allergies. We had 2 days in early April that had pollen measurements at the top of the all-time biggest pollen measurements at DAQ's records, which go back to 1999. Now, at the end of March, the beginning of April was particularly bad, with one measurement recording more than 5,000 tree pollen grains per cubic meter. My eyes are itchy just thinking about last year. So while we're not that bad this year just yet, tree pollen typically does not peak until early to mid-April. So unfortunately, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But after the trees are done, grass starts to peak, mainly in the early spring and late summer, and then weeds peak in the fall. So if you're feeling bad when you wake up every morning, yes, you can probably blame the pollen. And now